Yo, no maniacs. Welcome to the show. This is Nomad Live, all Bears all the time, in conjunction with Sports Zone Chicago and Shawn, the SuperBack Sierra. We got up top, and we got the Bishop down low, man, and we ready to go ahead and kick some football for you guys. Before we get into it, let's give out some pleasantries. Gentlemen, go ahead, kid.
What are you laughing at? The word gentleman? Is that what you're laughing at?
Yes, gentlemen. Where?
That was it. Okay.
If they only knew.
Started already. Hey, man, no maniacs. Good to see you guys. You know what? It's awesome to see you guys in the chat. Even before we start up, ready to rock and roll. My guy Plank, always number one, no maniac in the building. Lord Crimson up in there early. Patty Laura in there early. Hey, Patty, how you doing? Black Diamond, Mark Kazak, Jay Sanders, honestly, Jay Grizz as well. Armando Jr. Who else is out there? So many folks out there. 10 Bears, you're all over Twitter. I've been following you. You got some awesome comments. I haven't been really responding because then I have to respond to responses. You dig? But I see you out there. You're doing your thing on Twitter, and I have to give you some love for it. Notorious TBG, good to see you. Mr. Mayhem, good to see you. Man, let's get into it. Bishop, what do you got to say, bro?
Good afternoon to our No Maniacs and Sports Zoners. Thank you for joining us today. For everybody in the chat has been shouted out by my man Kedz. What's going on? How y'all doing today? To my everyday faithfuls, Rita, Felicia, Stuart, Sophie, Milt, my SIU people, what's going on today, y'all? How y'all doing? And to my brothers on the panel, yes, we're here again today to talk Bears football. SuperBack, what it be, my brother?
Man, it's all good, baby. Jay Grizz, I see you with the man down with the king. That's that's a lyric I hadn't heard in a minute. But sports owners and no maniacs unite. Thank you for tuning in, folks. We appreciate the love and the support. And let's get down to it, man. We got a lot to talk about. The pre-show conversation was hilarious. But we got a lot to talk about today, man. We have a lot to talk about today. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to it. I started on my show, all right, and I'm ready to keep it rolling, baby. Let's roll. Nomad.
Man, one of these days I'm gonna privy some of the some of our viewers to some membership, man, and they can get a good taste of how crazy behind the scenes can get. And it's gonna be membership only. This kind of content you can't put out. You know, it's got to be behind a paywall or something, man. But those are the kind of conversations.
Oh, man, we can't sell what we just. You want to sell that?
Maybe not that particular one, but you know, some of the others are pretty good.
Gonna have to have them sign NDAs.
Gentlemen.
Man,
and we use that term loosely.
Some other conversations going on, man. Let's get into some bear stuff, man. Actually, let's not get into some bear stuff right away. Chris, this nugget is for you. I got this one. So here it is. Danielle Hunter was offered more money by the Colts, and then he'll make plan with the Titans. So basically, a lot of us wanted Danielle Hunter, and we was wondering, you know, are the Bears in the hunt for him? Are they offering him anything? I think it's apparent based on that article that, you know, no matter what the Bears or the whoever was offering him anything, he was going home to Houston. And right, so, you know, I just had to put that out there. So the Colts was the only ones in reports that offered him more money. We don't know if the Bears did or not. If you want to respond to that.
Well, he's in the winter, if you will, of his career. So obviously want to play at home. I mean, you know.
Oh, well, you really believe that? If you believe that, why would we want him?
Why would we want him?
He's in the winter of his career.
Well, he's on the back nine, definitely. Yep. I mean, he's 30, you know, he'll be 30 years old, and you know, at some point that becomes important to a player, you know, to be familiar with surroundings. I can't blame him for that. I mean, you know, they say the difference in lifestyle between 200 million and 20 million is minimal. So if a guy is not, you know, crazy about going out buying $2 million worth of jewelry and a bunch of extravagant stuff,
No
you
state
know,
tax.
some stuff is worth being home, So I get
I'd like
that.
to test that theory out there, Chris. That's a
I
theory
would
I'd
love
like
to test it out too. I'd like to test 10 million up against 20. 200,000 wouldn't be bad right now. So
like right now, $20.
$20
Anyways.
wouldn't hurt, brother. Can I throw my cash app up? I'll throw my cash app up and test it. But yeah, I can totally understand that. So I was under the impression we really didn't make a real push toward him. We might have, but
I think we did.
Couldn't find nothing in regards.
I didn't. I never found anything either that we had made a push toward Daniil. I wanted to. I mean, that other side of the line just looks barren, guys.
But
And
maybe
I know-
they did. Maybe they did, Chris. And maybe
Well,
they were told by his, his representation, like he's looking to go back towards South, and Ryan Paul's like, "Oh, I bet I'm out." You know what I mean? Like sometimes you don't got to be told 5 times. Sometimes you know what I mean.
You're exactly
sometimes
right.
they tell you once, and he's like, "Oh, I bet."
You're
Pivot.
exactly right. That could have happened. I mean, we don't know, but I mean, the result ended up the same. We're hunterless.
Yep.
Well, same token.
And you know what? The other thing is, we didn't even I think Mike Dana is still available. Did Clowney sign?
No.
I mean, those are
That's another good one.
Another couple of guys that still are out there, Mike Dana, and we've made no move on them either, and they would cost significantly less. So,
And the longer we wait, the more and more that price drops.
And here's two other factors that I believe also weighed into his decision. One, going to a warm climate where there's less stress on his body actually helps preserve his body. More importantly, but the key thing that everybody tends to not factor in is these guys already give up a lot of money to agents and different things of that nature. So the fact that he doesn't have to pay any state income tax in the state of Texas, he see a lot more of his money, versus had he went to Chicago where, the state of Illinois taxing you hard.
Tell us more about the benefits of living in Texas person.
Hey, brother, I will tell you this: you get more house. You get more house for your money.
Oh, I know
that. I can't deny. I can't
that's
deny.
True.
The weather, man, is always great year round. Even when we have our so-called winters, it's still wonderful.
That's enough. Go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like he was just kidding.
And the fact that you do see more of your money. It's nice to see more of your money.
So I got Berlissimo on yesterday's show in the chat made mention of he wonders why the NFL doesn't do something to normalize that taxation situation for the players, so that that's not an issue between team on team on team. Right. I don't think that's a fair, by way of fairness. It's not a level. The playing field is not level if you're going to a region and being taxed much more heavily than going to another region, especially if just for instance, you're just happenstancely drafted in there, right? Like you're just drafted in. Now you're there and you're dealing with the taxes. I wish the NFL would do something around that to again level the playing field for teams.
I agree with you on that, and what's even more weird is the fact that wherever state that they play in on the road, they got to also pay those taxes, which to me is crazy. Well, I don't understand how, if you work in corporate America and you travel around for your respective company, you're not taxed on each state that you drop into. So I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to the NFL and their collective bargaining agreement, but more importantly, their union, I think they have one of the weakest unions amongst pro sports. I don't think they're well represented at all. I think they know that they have a bunch of guys that come from certain economical backgrounds, and the fact that they're just able to make that type of money, they own people. And I hate to use the word sell them out, but sell them short. And don't fight as hard as they should for guys who literally put their bodies on the line each and every day. And their lives, in instances, name me a football player that we know of in the recent NFL that's living past the age of, say, 70. I'm not hearing a lot of names, man. A lot of these guys are leaving here a lot sooner, and it's a lot because of the damage that their body's been through. Wow. So I think that they really need to take a hard look at their union and get the right people in place to represent them properly.
Well, real quickly, man. Jedi, I don't know how this got into taxes either, but here we are.
It is tax season. It is.
All I know
it's
is
tax
this.
season, but it's important, man. We can always talk about football, but we got to also. There's life.
Yeah,
and life is what helps these guys make decisions. We
got so much time, and I just had a quick joke. I just got a quick joke. You want to change the politics of who pays what in the NFL and who can't. Tax. You got to go sit in the office and make a deal with Lindsey Graham, and I ain't doing that. I'd rather stay out of his office, man. But that's one little point there, man. How about I like this, man. Shawn, I think all you guys would like to hear this because this is what I was expecting to happen once Eddie Jackson left. Jaquan Brisker has gotten the whole entire DB group, the whole entire secondary, and the linebackers together to work out and train in California, which is something Eddie would have been doing if he was here. Things like that. And now it seems to me like he's doing exactly what I thought he would do, which was his natural progression, was take a leadership role on the team and keep that continuity with the position groups because they do need to communicate well. Shawn, you know that linebacker to DB needs to be thorough. And so I brightened up my morning when I read that today, and I'm just glad to hear about it.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday, and I thought it was great too. He's going into his third season now, and the baton has been passed. All right, and I'm sure he and Eddie talked about it, and he's like, hey, if I'm gone, you got to step up, and he seems like the dude to step up. So, but this is what leaders do. All right, when leaders don't want followers. Leaders want to train leaders. Okay, that's what they want to do. They want other people to go on and build on what they have been posed on these people. And Jaquan Brisker is taking that to heart, and good for him. All right, good for him. And my guy Junior, he wants to finish the striped socks conversation.
Started, Junior.
I was just laughing about that myself, man.
So what we have is we're starting to get these young guys in the early part of their career starting to step up, starting to be leaders. And this is what makes great teams. All right. When you have younger players, what's happening is you're getting younger players holding other players accountable. All right. So that is a phenomenal thing. And all great teams will have that. You look at the great teams throughout and the historic teams. You look at the historic teams, the Ravens, okay, the Patriots, hell, even the 85 Bears, the Cowboys. You don't think players held each other accountable? You crazy as a mug if you don't think that those players held each other accountable. And they did it an old school way, in your face, okay, and very combative, because they understood that you need to be challenged, and there's no easy way. There's no, try better next time. And like, no, MF, you need to stop letting him beat you. They would get in each other's face, and they knew it. All right, so good job for Jaquan Brisker. I love that. So now we just need a leader on offense, and we'll see if what happens there. And I was going to go down a certain path, but I decided not to. So we'll see.
Anybody else want to touch on that?
Nah. Yeah, I got no jokes there. I
know kind of jersey.
I'm quick-witted and I come up with some, but
that jersey. Illinois wants to know what that jersey is.
This one?
Yeah.
This is my old Khalil. This is my old Khalil Mack. It's all tattered and destroyed.
Damn.
He ran just like that bad boy with the lawnmower, didn't he?
Well, might as well.
You need to burn that like they burn old flags, bro. That's how. Out of respect.
This one is representative of what we've gone through since we got rid of Khalil. This is exactly why I keep it. And I actually have two, and they're both destroyed, and I love them. I love the fact.
You know what I ran across today, Kedz? I was looking for my White Sox jacket. Why? Well, I'm going to the game tomorrow, but that's another story. I'm a glutton for punishment. Bears, White Sox, Bulls, whatever. I came across my Jay Cutler jersey.
Oh
wow.
Yeah, I got like it's terrible. Since we're talking about it, I got a bunch of jerseys from guys who just like who is no longer on the team. Not only no longer on the team, like have been flushed out unceremoniously. So Justin Fields, Alshon Jeffrey, right? Like it's a list.
You gotta hold on, kids, man. Illinois getting some good ones off on you. He said he thought your joint was a camo.
Oh, see? I actually have a camo too. I do. I have a 34 camo. I got a 34. I got a Peyton camo. It's actually nice. I'll rock it next time. I'll rock it for you guys.
Hey man, all I know is that thing looked like something I just got out from under my lawnmower. I had to untie my blade. That thing I'm telling you, that thing done had his days, man.
Yeah, looks like beat up.
She's a little beat up, but I love her. I you know.
All right,
special place in my heart.
Man, you guys made me lose my train of thought. All right. These pro days, I got some interesting information. Man.
I washed it with a cup of gravel. Clean out of gravel, dog. But when I go get some gravel and throw that, I'm not sure who taught you to do laundry.
You guys gotta stop, man. We gotta do a show, man. Y'all cracking jokes. Y'all cut it out in the chat now. Come on.
Okay.
Focus.
Stop
being funny in the chat, you sons of biscuits.
This is better than the show.
I like it.
A gravel bath, man. Good Lord. Hey, man. Hey, look. So these pro days, so Malik Neighbors, man. I don't know if you guys got to see his 40.
I did.
And
do you want to see it?
I already saw it. You got it?
Yeah, do it.
I can pull it up.
Do it. Act like Bo Jackson Knight can just do it.
While he's doing that, what I what's interesting to see when you see guys out of uniform, you can kind of get a sense of, what you can project their body to be able to do. And I think he can put on 7 to 10 pounds of lean with easy, just really easy lean muscle. I meant.
Yeah, no, of course.
You have to today. You do have to emphasize what you meant.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Don't worry about it, kids. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah, if you want.
Take the volume off if you do nothing else.
I doubt the volume will even come in, but let's try this one more time. Boom, boom. So it would be this one. No. There.
Come on, Tim Bear, stop it. Stop it.
Is this not him?
No, don't worry about it, man. We probably gonna get a video anyway. It's my bad. Don't worry about it. But Malik Neighbors, what was interesting? There's a couple things going on as far as this pro day down at LSU. So we're a day ahead of the actual pro day, but they're still doing stuff. They're going out, having meals together with teams and different things like that. One team not on this list of visitation and having a meal with was the Bears. And so, I think he's probably going to go in between 1 and 9. I'm pretty sure he's going to go between 1 and 9. And I think they understand that. I think they know that. But here's what's more troubling to me is Jaden Daniels is not on the list of teams to meet with the Bears. They are not on this list. And what we keep hearing from Ryan Poles is they're going to do due diligence on everyone. And that doesn't sound like quite due diligence to me. I don't know if this is a play on, really, really, really sending home the signal to Washington to see what they can get from the situation. If there's more, I don't know what it is, but that doesn't sound like due diligence to me to not even sit down with the guy after the pro day. What do you think, kid?
Man. So what you're telling me is he's decided not to.
No. It's the Bears. They're just
the Bears brass have decided not to have dinner with him and actually feel this out.
Yeah, that's my understanding of it.
Do I have to even say anything? You guys smell what I'm cooking or like what I'm about to cook?
Yep, I know exactly where you're going.
Serve the meal.
Just give me the alley-oop.
Well, it smells a whole heck of a lot like 2017. No. Remember that guy they decided not to vet at all and zeroed in on a dude because he had a Honda Accord or some kind of car or something? This is where we are right now. So either you're doing the due diligence or you are not. Please do the due diligence And I'm not saying anything disparaging against
check out Chuck's comment before you go any further and see what that.
LSU planned a pro day during the league meetings. It has nothing to do with the Bears. LSU messed this up. I will just move. Thank you, Chuck. I'll just move back and say I expect, and I think Bears fans' expectation should be that the general manager does due diligence on, I'm going to say, the top 3, if not 4 quarterbacks in this class. I think 4 of them are very good. I think one of them is amazing. And I think one of them has a very high chance at being caliber with the other one. So please, have the conversations, go to the dinners, meet these kids, get to understand them, know what they're about before you make a rash decision, before you fall in love with a player and or a personality. Because I think everybody's been there, and I think everybody's been jilted by a lover at some point in time. And I'll step off the soapbox. Bishop.
Well, let me see. How can I put a spin on this? I can't. I'm just going to be straight up with it. We have here someone who has learned how to be very eloquent in front of the cameras, in front of the microphones. He has said things to get everybody to believe in him. What I just want him to do is just come out and say, okay, our number one guy is this person, and move on from it. And if you care not to do any due diligence, that's his prerogative. It's his team. He's the GM. You're going to either swim or sink with the decision. I'm cool with that. Because at this point, to be truthfully honest, nothing surprises me, man. Nothing surprises me anymore. What will surprise me is if they are able to actually develop a quarterback. How about that? So whoever it is, I just want to see that they can develop a quarterback. I've come to the realization not to have any expectations any further when it comes to this particular, with any Chicago team for that matter, but especially this team. Okay? I can sound like sour grapes today, and maybe I do to some. But I believe in being real and being a realist. And I'm done with the eloquent speaking. I'm done with the nice smile, the gentleman's smile. I'm not that dude at all. If I shared anything about my past, you will probably find out, be like, oh, okay. So I won't go down that road. All I'm gonna say is, at this point now, I got to see it, man. I got to see it on the field, and I got to see it on the field consistently if you want me to buy into what you're trying to serve me. Simple as that. Shawn, on to you, my brother.
Yeah, it's very similar to what they did a couple years ago, where they didn't vet Trubisky. They didn't. Well, was it Trubisky? I think it was
Trubisky. They didn't vet the other guy.
Well, here's the deal. If it's a done deal and you're taking Caleb, then there's no need. All right. If you're taking, if everything checks out, see, and this is the thing that still bothers me. Why was his pro day? Why was his visit pushed back? Why? Why did he do that? Unfortunately, I still think they have the possibility of them trading him is still on the table. But when Matt Eberflus talked about, we'll continue with install with him, that was a huge red flag we talked about. Like, you don't install stuff with a guy that you're not bringing in. You know what I mean? Like, there's no need for you to install that time. You could do whiteboard stuff and you can do other stuff, but to install, and maybe he's throwing a red herring. Maybe they're not really installing. Okay, maybe they're not. Caleb's not talking at all, so we don't really know what's going on. So it's really it's really a guessing game, because we assume that's who's going to be taken with what they're saying. That's what he is. And if they are going to take him, then there's really no need to do anything else. You don't need to have your heavy hitters. When you got handle my lightweight, they can have some other people. Jaden, because they're not going to Drake Mays, but they're sending a quarterback coach. I thought they were going to LSU, so he's just not invited to Chicago. So they're going to be at Jaden Daniels' pro day tomorrow. All right. But he's not coming to Chicago. That's the only thing. Maybe if they talk to him, maybe they just change. Who knows? Maybe they have a good idea about him. I honestly don't know. I can't tell you because Poles has been very very different this year, and he's kind of unpredictable. So we'll see. That would be something else though if he did end up trading and getting that and drafting that dude, because you turning your head on him completely. Oh, he's not coming to Chicago. He didn't say that, but you know what I mean. They're saying by not inviting him. It's why are you doing that? There's something fishy again. Something just doesn't seem right about this whole scenario, and we're gonna watch it play out.
Well, I don't want to. Here's my thing about it, man. I had to, just for the sake of the shows we do, I had to really just kind of recalibrate and let this guy do and move in the manner that he feels is the right way to go. And I'm just waiting to analyze the results after they've cooked the meal and shown us what they've done with the capital that they have, the draft picks they have, the money spent in free agency. I'm just waiting, tempering my expectations the best I can, but I feel a lot like most people, it's like some of the stuff he's doing is kind of curious, the way he's moving. But like I said, I'll reserve judgment until later. But Chris, if you found those 30 visits, let me know. Here's the next subject, man, because this is getting ready to get interesting, man, because so Caleb has a video out there. Caleb Williams has a video out there, and it's, at first I kind of, I went through a bunch of people's pages, man, just to see if it's authentic, if anybody photoshopped anything. It seems to be authentic. And he's wearing what it looks like lip gloss, looks like fingernail polish, and a little one of those little coin bags or something. And he's being eccentric. And this is Chicago, and we're all men here, and we're adults, man. And I'll reserve my comments about that and let these guys speak on what they thought about it.
See, nicely slipped through, you sneaky guy. Yeah, I all I have to say on this at this present moment is lip gloss is awesome, and I'm gonna throw it down to the bishop. We'll just leave it there. Go lip gloss.
Oh, hey man, hey Rob, I don't know about no dress. He was sitting down. I ain't seen no dress, man.
No, he's done a dress in I think he was at Fashion Week in Paris or something like that. The same kind of thing as Chase Claypool did, but like Chase Claypool was wearing like, there was a dress involved, but I like imagine him like trying to position a manlier dress versus a less manly dress.
Hey,
this is like a hilarious conversation.
Hey, I can be a butt swipe when I want to be. I almost made a meme and said, "Is this your king?"
Hey, I'm not even gonna do it. I'm just saying if I'm comparing men in dresses, I'll have to say that I like the Chase Claypool dress a little bit more than I like the. This is a hilarious conversation. I like the Caleb Williams dress. In any event, lip gloss is awesome. Bishop, you go, bro. Go lip gloss.
What I took away from the video that I saw is he's got rhythm. The guy's got rhythm. And with that, hey, I just hope when he comes to Chicago, he embraces house music. Shawn, on to
you. Definitely a interesting wardrobe he had on, his ensemble. But again, let's not keep it. Let's not forget that we embrace Dennis Rodman with all his crazy antics. All right. However, Dennis Rodman was proven. Dennis Rodman, regardless of what you said or what you liked, if you liked or didn't like about him, he was getting you 15 rebounds a game. He came in and did his job, regardless of the off-court circus. Hell, why do you think they even brought him here? All right, they knew how crazy he was. They knew all the eccentricity of Dennis Rodman, but the fact that it was even entertained was because he was really good at his job. Okay, and you know damn well Chicago fell in love with Dennis Rodman. You know why? Because Dennis Rodman went to work. Dennis Rodman went to work, a blue collar kind of guy. He'd wear gas station button up T-shirts. You know what I mean, or uniform shirts to work, to the United Center, and people loved it. He was one of the people. As eccentric as he was one of the people. So if Caleb can perform at a high level, man, you see a whole bunch of dudes with some pink nail polish. Just saying.
I'm gonna say this, man, because I'm gonna let people understand, my way of thinking and how far I've come, as a man. I used to get into I have a half sister and a half brother. I have several half siblings, and I'm only close with two of them. My older sister is my half sibling. She's a lesbian, and as a kid, I would fight her battles for her. You know what I mean? If somebody called her a name, I would fight all the time about it. And I used to get really upset for people calling her outside of her name, any of the foul language and slurs they give to people that go about that way of life. And it took her to kind of slow me down, pull me to the side. Like, she went off on me, started crying. She's like, I don't need you to do that. I don't need you to do that. I don't want you getting yourself in trouble or maybe getting yourself hurt trying to defend me. I can take care of myself. And it kind of toned me down and made me understand that aspect of, she didn't feel like she needed to be defended. She was used to being called names. However, that helped me be sensitive to people who don't think the same way as me, who don't go about life the same way as me. And over the years, being a mentor, a counselor, I've had to deal with people who are of that ilk. And it taught me to be even more sensitive to people's lifestyle choices. And, I firmly believe you can't really choose who you are. Now, things can happen to you during your childhood that can kind of pervert your childhood and turn you into what I think, ends up being the case for a lot of people in a choice of sexuality, But what I'm saying to you guys is I'm sensitive to it just because of my background. And I'm not going to make fun of nobody, even if he turns out to be someone that likes the same ex. I'll be okay with it, man. And I won't hold that against him. But I do want to know is, how tough are you on that football field? That's what I do want to know. And at the end of the day, him as a man and as a human being, I withhold my judgment. That's his business, But as a football player and me as a fan of the football team, I'm just interested in how well he's able to hold up under tremendous pressure, which is coming. And I mean like an avalanche of it. Now people are starting to feel a sense of they know what kind of guy he is off the field. Now some of the same people that been rooting him on and cheering for him, like, we need to get this guy. Now all of a sudden you're talking crap about him, man. What's up with that? You know what I'm saying? This is the guy you wanted. This guy you wanted. Now, if you find out he doesn't go about the way of life that your virtues are, don't hold that against him. Be that same person with that same energy. And that's all I can say about that, man. I'm not gonna judge a man for what he does off the field. Anybody?
Yeah, I don't really. Well, very well stated. Very
Next
well
topic.
stated. Next topic. Let's move on.
Moving along.
Hey, Chris, let's get a quick station ID, man. We'll jump on the next topic on the other side. Is Chris there?
The best Chicago Bears content anywhere. Catch Nomad live pregame 1 hour prior to kickoff, and Nomad at night postgame, and every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Central on all the most popular streaming platforms, and only on the Nomad Network.
Thank you and shout out to everybody for supporting us and all the people that are listening to this on whatever platform you choose to do it. And everybody that's in the chat right now, thank you for your support. And if you haven't considered subscribing to the Sports Zone Chicago and the Nomad Network, please do that. We would really appreciate your support. Shawn, man, this is something I just decided, man, I think this is a good idea to talk about it because the thumbnail says, can Caleb finally melt the cheeseheads? And I think, I think most fans, man, I ain't gonna kid you, man, the rivalry between us and Green Bay is so thick and so deep. I think that's the Super Bowl for most people. It's just beating Green Bay. If we beat Green Bay, that's pretty much the Super Bowl for a lot of people in this fan base. And you know what? Kids, let's get to these super chats, man, because I don't want to hold people up with that. And we'll just tackle this stuff on the other side of that.
Absolutely. G-Mace is representing today. G-Mace, this is the first time I'm seeing you on the show. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for being a No Maniac. And let's get to what your big inquiry is.
My bad.
Hey, fellas. I believe Jaden Daniels is a better prospect than Caleb. If the Bears go with Jaden, where will he be available at in the draft? Do you want to touch that, Nomad?
Sure. He's definitely, if he doesn't go one, he's going two. No, not even a second guess in my mind. I know it's a lot of noise going on, G-Mace, that JJ McCarthy might be getting picked at two. I know that's a bunch of – I don't buy that 1 second. I think Jaden Daniels' tape is legit. What I see on tape is a legit pro-ready quarterback. I mean, his ball placement out of the sets that they use, man. I mean, I would say there's reason to believe that it's comparable to Caleb Williams, if not better. And I'm talking about ball placement out of the sets that they run and the route concepts that they run. I would say in a lot of cases his ball placement is better than Caleb Williams's. But that's just one aspect of being a quarterback. I believe he's going number two if he doesn't go one. I know everybody doesn't want to hear that, but it's still, until they make the pick, there's still that possibility out there, G-Mace. If anybody else wants to answer that, go right ahead.
I'll jump in real quick. I think if he doesn't go one, he'll go two. Simple as that. I will say this: not just the tape or the film. I actually watched every single LSU game this season, and I watched the kid bring his team from behind when they were down by more than two actual scores. I watched him play from ahead. I watched the kid play under adversity in terms of, losing players due to injury. He's an excellent quarterback. So is Caleb. In actuality, so is all these young men that's in this draft. They have to be, in order to be even considered a first-round draft pick in some form of fashion. Whether they threw for 3,000 plus yards, whether they threw more than 20 plus touchdowns, whether they team ran primary run style offenses. These guys are in this draft for a reason. And but with regard to Mr. Daniels, I think he will go. If he doesn't go one, he'll go two.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Shawn, or Kedz, either one of y'all.
Yeah, I don't know what number he's going to go. We've got two quarterback-hungry teams early in the draft, being us and the Washington Commanders. So very possible. Same token, the Patriots are just as hungry for a quarterback at this present time. So again, three at the very least quarterbacks could go back to back to back to back.
I forgot about them kids.
Right? Like I just don't know
My bad.
Who wants what, where, and why. Like, I know Washington wants Caleb. Let's get that out. Definitely they do. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to get him. It looks like we're aimed at that. So what does Washington do? Do they do the Jaden Daniels thing? Do they do the Drake May, JJ McCarthy thing? I don't know what happens with those two franchises. Everybody speculates immediately when you hear the Patriots, Drake May. I don't carry that speculation. That's just me. I just don't. But we'll see where he actually winds up going. I have no clue, but I think the more attention we pay to today's pro day, who actually is in and around Jaden Daniels, who's going to these dinners for these teams, that's the type of stuff we want to see and understand to get a better understanding of where he might wind up.
You got any more super chats? I thought I saw two.
Let me double check. No, that's it.
All right. Well, How about this, man? Here's what's interesting. I don't want to, we don't have the roster pulled up, but we can kind of surmise what the matchups might look like, Shawn and Keith and Kedz, with the new quarterback, with the pieces that's been added so far, and versus what Green Bay can bring to the table. How do you think we match up against that team now? And we'll start with Kedz and get to everybody.
Sorry,
the matchup. How do you think we match up with the additions that we have and knowing
against Green Bay?
Going on? Yeah.
I thought we matched up well last year until we played them. That's kind of the best thing I can say, right? I thought on paper, I thought we had the better squad. And they came in and did all sorts of evil to us. A, at the beginning of the season, B, at the end of the season. And when I say did evil, we improved the team midway through the season, went on a bit of a tear defensively, and they again came right back at us and served it to us. So it's very hard for me to say where we are against them. So I'll start with the quarterback. They've got a kid who's had the opportunity to sit behind probably the greatest quarterback we've in the NFL for the past 15 years, barring Patrick Mahomes. He's now had a season under his belt, and he's done very well. We're countering that with a rookie. Last season, if we look at how our offensive line did against them, we got ate for lunch. They ate our lunch on as far as our offensive line versus their defensive line was concerned, especially in that final game. We really saw that. That worries me a little bit. I'm not so sure that our offensive line has seen the level of improvement we're going to need to really put up to give whoever's under center a viable amount of time to get the job done. So I'm a little worried about that. I'm a little less worried on the defensive side, although we still need that cornerstone defensive end on the other side, because very simply, once you double team Montez Sweat, just like they used to do to Khalil and or Robert Quinn when he was by himself, we're going to have to figure something else out to get some pressure on Jordan Love. So somebody's got to do something there, or we got to bring somebody to do it. As far as secondary is concerned, we probably, in my opinion, I think we might have the best secondary in the league. But the way the defense is schemed, that secondary eats when the defensive line is effective. If the defensive line isn't effective, the secondary starts to break down. And again, that's literally what we saw in that final game. So I'll kind of leave things there. This is a rivalry for a reason, and I think the rivalry just simply continues on. I'm not sure if it's going to be a positive or negative thing at this point, but we'll see what the season holds. Bishop?
Well, that's saying a lot, kids, and I'm going to piggyback on that. On paper, the rosters could probably match up. I will give Green Bay a little more credit especially on the offensive side of the ball, where they have more first-round picks than the Bears do. But with that being said, if we're just talking about man for man, it should be able to match up. Defensively, I think we match up very well, if not exceedingly well. My main concern is making sure that we do get that defensive end. That's my concern. As far as what I think what we really need to just make sure we have on the defensive line is add that other end. And Kedz said it best, cornerstone defensive end. For the offensive side of the ball, how do we match up? Only time will tell. And it goes back to what I said before in previous shows. What is our offensive identity going to be? And how well will we be able to develop the players that we need to develop in key roles and get the schemes implemented, get them rolled out to where everybody's on the same page. If they are able to do that in a reasonable amount of time, by the time we do actually see that particular team, I think we should have a pretty good idea of how we match up. But again, it really comes down to the key factor. Offensively, what is the offensive identity going to be, And can we develop our skill players, our quarterback and receivers? We got receivers now. We don't have to worry about that as much because we got two guys that are proven. So that learning curve is substantially less, because now those guys can lead the way and help with the development of the younger guys that's on the roster, whether they're a 2-year or 3rd-year guy. So now pivot back to the primary position, QB. If they get that together and get that moving along quickly after the draft, we might be able to really compete. But again, time will tell. Shawn, what you think, brother?
Sorry, I had to mute myself. I was going to step out because my landscapers decided to come right in the middle of the show and get the leaf blower right next to the window, but it seems like he's already done.
We'll let you know if we can't hear you, bro. You go.
It'll be, yeah. I think we're in a good spot to beat Green Bay. Don't get me wrong. I still would like more pressure on Love. We can't really. I think we did a good enough job last game of the season last year. And that was without some people. Remember, Jalen Johnson didn't play that game. We still held them to 17 points. Okay, it was a 1-score game, if I'm not mistaken. I think we're inching closer. I think we're closer than we've been in a while to Green Bay. The Montez Sweat thing helped a lot. The confidence of JJ and the growth of Tyreek Stevenson has really helped a lot. So I think we're getting there. I'm not, and then no disrespect, and I'm not overlooking Detroit by any stretch, but I think we should be able to win both games. Minnesota doesn't even know what they're going to do with their quarterback position, so we should be able to get 2 games there. And if we can split the Green Bay series, all right, that's 5-1 in the division. Okay, even if we go 3-3 in the division, that's a huge jump from 0-6. Okay, I still think that we can. As far as Green Bay, I still think we can get them. I still think the additions have made a huge difference for us. So we're just gonna have to find out. We're gonna have to find out. The only thing is they have the same quarterback who's been sitting in the system for 3 years before he started. Then his first year, those 4,000 yards. Got the same receivers back. So we have to be able to get to him. Got to be able to move him off the spot. We got to be able to get him down. So, and it's not going to be easy, but I think we can do it.
Well, let me. Here's why I see the matchups in particular. Here's why I think we just got a huge advantage. And this is going to sound funny coming from me because everybody knows how much I thought of Josh Jacobs. If you're a regular to the program, then you know what I think about Josh Jacobs. But Josh Jacobs is a particular type of running back. And, he can do it all. He can do it all. But so is, what's his name? Aaron Jones is a very particular type of running back. And he hurt us in very particular ways. Why? Aaron Jones is like a knife through the heart of your defense. He gets a dump down or I forget what they call that, like was it like a delayed handoff, Shawn? Help me out here. When he gets a delayed handoff and he just a draw play. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And if you watch the games close enough, he hurts us in particular ways. Out there on the boundaries, in the screen game, and he just takes sharp cuts in his acceleration. He gets from 0 to 10 so fast that he breaks that one tackle in that first wave of the defense, and it's like that safety is going to catch hell trying to catch up with him. And so he really, really over the last several years has really driven a knife in the hearts of us, man. And I'm telling you, he's a particular type of running back. Josh Jacobs is going to do his thing, but he's not going to do quite the damage that Aaron Jones was able to do to this defense year in and year out, game in and game out. That is going to be I'm so glad that he's not with that team right now because that gives him a little bit better chance to get them. Here's where else I think the matchup favors Green Bay. I think they have the more experienced defensive front, and we have the least experience. I think we have the more inferior offensive line. I think our offensive line, is inferior to their defensive front. And so how does that work?
Now.
Yeah, absolutely. And how does that work? That means that rookie quarterback, whoever it is, Caleb, Jaden Daniels, whoever it is going to catch hell from that, because they're going to right away. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're going to make him win the game from the pocket. They're going to attack him. They're going to attack him, keep him surrounded, and so they're going to rush with a little bit of tepidness. They're going to rush under control, and they're going to try to create pressure from the inside. And so he's going to right away feel that pressure from that front. And I don't know that we made the right moves to really I don't know. I just don't know what the moves we made on the offensive line, that we've done enough, man. I complain about this. I'm a little bit tired of the bargain basement shopping that Poles is doing to shore up that offensive line. Cost Justin Fields while he was here. And if they don't do something to shore that thing up by the time we play the Packers, they're going to be in trouble. And here's where Josh Jacobs can really, really hurt a defense. In the middle of the defense, I'm talking about on dump downs. If he gets, they're going to be looking for running back linebacker matchups, and if he gets caught on the wrong linebacker, that's curtains for that linebacker, because Josh Jacobs is a hell of a receiver. And so I think also, while we're talking about it, I think missing Jalen that last game really cost us. Put our rookie out there, man. It really, really cost us. I thought we could have probably competed better against this team had we, had Jalen in the starting lineup that last game. But I do think having Kevin Byard as an upgrade, that's going to be a little bit different. The first time you see them in that matchup, he's going to be a big impact on that game. But it's hard to say that I think a rookie can beat a Green Bay Packer team, which is thorough. I can't say that he won't either. But I think the matchup still favors Green Bay slightly, fellas. That's what I'm saying. After all that said, I think they still favors Green Bay slightly.
Well, that's why I said I hope they split, home and home, or if they can split that series, I think we come out with a winning record in the division this year.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, I unfortunately, and I knew we would lose 2 games to them last year. That was my prediction, and we did. I have a feeling it's probably going to be more of the same this year. Upside, I'm sorry, Bears fan. Upside is I feel like we're going to win 2 against Detroit and probably 2 against Minnesota. So it all kind of evens out and leaves us in a positive spot for the season, a positive spot in the division. But I don't like. We really have to field an offense that scores a heck of a lot more points against that team this season, let alone the trenches. Like, those are the two issues. I do feel like, again, we've upgraded at running back, we've upgraded at wide receiver, we've upgraded at tight end. There's a lot more places for the ball to go. So once more, hopefully that's the result. And if that's the result, now we really just have to stare at the trenches and hope that it's not a nightmare down there. But I don't. Sorry, Mark. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Mark. But like, I'm not sure if this team is. They punched us in the mouth, bookends last year. Like, we started the season punched in the mouth. The season's over. They punched us again, square in the mouth. And I think it was important to have those 2 games where they were, especially given the rivalry, right? We had, okay, so all right, we're not quite ready for Green Bay. Let's do some things. Let's make some tweaks, and they did. And the team starts to gel, and things are going, and you get punched in the mouth again. So you have to look at that realization and make the effective change. I'm just not so sure that the effective change in the trenches specifically was made. That's my word. I'm hoping the offense fixes, carries a little bit more so that, and I don't know. I think lose too.
They've definitely got to get Jordan Love uncomfortable. He was way, way, way too comfortable early. He got into an early. I'm talking about the last game that we saw. He got into an early. That's really an indicator when I watch a game is, especially for a quarterback, is how early can that quarterback get into a rhythm. Because anybody that watches football enough knows if that quarterback gets into an early rhythm, if they scheme up the calls to get that quarterback into an early rhythm, it's probably going to be a long day for that defense. And I seen that coming early in the game. I'm like, oh, he's out there throwing dimes early. He's feeling good. That's going to be a long game from us. I seen most of the damage being done across the middle. I seen what is his name? Terrell Smith get targeted one too many times. He was just like a fish out of water at times, man. He just wasn't ready for what they threw at him. Those route combinations were a little bit too much. And I thought by this time in the year, he probably should have been ready. He probably didn't get the snap counts that he probably should have leading up into that game. But what other choice did they have but to throw him out there and test him?
I can't.
Well,
I hear what you're saying, and wide receivers were running free, like they were. But even then, I don't put that onus on the secondary. Even without Jalen, I put the onus on the defensive line for giving the man so much time back there to just find open receivers. Right, that's my problem with the whole thing. We need to have that cornerstone on the other side to add that additional pressure. When Montez Sweat is being double teamed, because that's like very simple. So let's take your best player out of the mix. Let's take Montez Sweat out of the mix. And what do you guys have? We've got Gervon Dexter, who might do some damage. Maybe didn't do any damage during that particular game. We've got Billings. Might do some damage. We've got Walker, might do some damage. We need to have a surefire disruptor somewhere on that line besides the guy that we have in place. That's what we need to beat the Green Bay Packers. And Poles hasn't provided it yet. Now, I don't blame Poles for not providing it yet. Hold on a second. I don't blame him. I think he's probably just waiting to see how the draft falls. He's also probably just waiting to see, how dollars and cents fall for free agents if he doesn't get a defensive end or edge rusher in the draft. So by this time, come September, I really do expect to see that issue solved. But at this present time, it hasn't been. Gentlemen.
All right, guys, pump our brakes. There's a little too much pessimism right now when everybody.
Sorry.
We haven't gotten to draft yet. Also, last I checked, nobody's roster is set just yet, and all teams are 0-0. So I say that because of this. 3 weeks ago, we were, I won't say excited, but we thought that Poles added some decent pieces. And you notice the word I use, decent pieces to the offensive line. Okay? We can't go out and add a Pro Bowler at every position, unfortunately. It would be great to do so, but we can't. And defensively, we keep leaving out one guy. We got Eric Washington now, guys. So we got to allow him to get his hands on that defensive line and let him create what he created up in Buffalo. He's a proven defensive coordinator, bro. And he's worked tremendously with the defensive lines that he's had under his tutelage. I believe he's going to be able to do some things with that defensive line to where quarterbacks won't be that comfortable facing us. I believe that. My apprehension goes back to everybody jumped on me yesterday about Flus. That's where my apprehension comes in with regard to the play calling. Hopefully, by the second half of the season, the play calling is turned over to Mr. Washington because he's proven with his stunts and different things that he does with the defensive line, and he gets to know the players and know what they do best, what they don't do well, to where he can take over the play calling and maybe we can be a lot more aggressive. Or hopefully him being in the building and sitting down with Flus, doing different meetings, that some of that aggressiveness will rub off on Flus, and we'll see something tremendously different than what we've seen the past 2 seasons. So I'm optimistic there. I'm going to be optimistic offensively and think that they've added some depth to the offensive line, and as long as we can get some continuity and stay healthy, we might be able to shore up some things, the holes that we had previously. And everybody has said this, one of the biggest flaws against Justin, and I'm going to use his name, was his release. Well, adding this new quarterback who has a quick release, that might eliminate some of our problems. So we got to be optimistic here, guys. It's just March. I think things can turn around. Let's just for once, let's try to be optimistic. I know it's tough, especially when we hear, GM say he's going to do one thing, and then all of a sudden 2 days later it's something altogether different. But we got to be optimistic. Everybody has said, in polls we trust. All right, y'all. Y'all got to trust.
I don't think there was pessimism there. I was just trying to measure up what I think.
It's pessimism, bro. I read it. It's pessimism, bro.
Hey, look. Hold on. It might have been pessimism. I wish I could argue.
Listen, when I'm doing that, it's just me finding where I think I didn't say
no excuse
that they would lose both games. I'm saying that by what I see by the position matchups, I still say the Packers have a little bit of an advantage. But go ahead, Shawn.
No excuse.
I still think that the Bears can split. All right, I don't see. I do think the Packers have a bit of an advantage, but I also think that the Bears are hungry. I also think that a lot of this defense is motivated. All right, because they understand. They understand we have everyone here. No one's here is beating the Packers. Okay, as a Bear. All right, so I think there's a little encouragement, little motivation, but also this defense is on the upswing. All right, we talked about they're the number one defense in the league the last 6 weeks. Number one defense in the league. Let's not forget that. Okay, and then you add a coach. How many times have you heard me say hashtag coaching matters? We have a stud defensive line coach in Coach Washington. Stud defensive line coach who has maximized the potential of his players. If he maximizes Gervon Dexter's potential, Zach Pickens' potential, Andrew Billings' potential, Montez Sweat's potential, and especially DeMarcus Walker, because as of right now, he's the person who's opposite Montez Sweat. If he maximizes their potential, this defensive line is going to be pretty darn crazy. So let's not get all Chicken Little about this. The sky's not falling. Let's relax, see how it plays out. And you're right, Keith. If you trust polls, trust them. I told you I didn't like the Justin trade, but it doesn't mean I don't trust him. It doesn't mean I can't critique him, but I trust him until I trust him until I can't trust him anymore. So yes, I do trust him. We have the draft coming up. We still have free agency. Now let me ask you guys a question in the panel and in the chat. If we go and we get Jadeveon Clowney on the other side, how much would that put your fears at ease? Now he's not going to get 15 sacks, but damn well he's going to set the edge. You know damn well he's going to get a couple of sacks, so you feel comfortable. And he's still out there. And as I said earlier, the longer we wait, or the longer he's unsigned, the more his price goes down.
Go ahead, Shawn.
I think we're good. All right, it's only March 27th. All right, you can't. Everyone's freaking out. Stop the Chicken Littleness. All right, stop it. They haven't even had the free agency, not even over. The draft hasn't even started yet. The 30 visits haven't even completed yet. Relax. Let's just talk about it and watch it. Enjoy the ride as it gets played out.
Hold your horses.
If we're going to do Chicken Littleness.
Hold on, Keith. Let's get to these couple of super chats. Let's get to these super chats.
Oh, hey, King Book of World, my guy, $2 super chat. Hope these coaches are ready along with the squad. And that was really with respect to the Packers conversation we were just having. My guy Plank, number one no maniac Plank, 128 eyes, lots of views, only 46 likes. These guys rock. Get the likes up, and I couldn't argue with the man for a second. Let's do that. Like, share, subscribe, No Maniacs. Give us a little bit of love. We'd appreciate it. in any event. Maybe I was a little bit too doom and gloom with the whole Green Bay situation, but just to preface it, or tie it up in a bow, if you will. The real upside is he's got a little bit of time to make that decision, just as Shawn was alluding. He can draft somebody. He can grab a free agent. Upside there is the free agent will cost a heck of a lot less after the draft than he does right now. So, given your question, Shawn, I'd be absolutely fine with Jadeveon Clowney. It's not going to break the bank. He's going to do the darn job the way the job is required. And we've got depth to sort of back him up. So that would work for me. Is it the the end-all, be-all ultimate signing at edge rusher? I wouldn't say that it is, but I don't think we need that this season. If we want to beat the Packers, though, I still think we need somebody in that position.
The one thing that we have to stop, and people are going to jump to say, well, it's in the division. All right, let's stop being so small-minded. I know we hate the Packers. I know they're all inbred, all right, cousin kissers, and that's fine. Okay, we understand that. All right?
God, no, man.
Hey, no maniacs from Wisconsin. You skip over minutes.
No, those are only the Packer fans.
The last 2 minutes.
Those are only the Packer fans, right?
Oh, yes.
All right, the Packer fans of Wisconsin. The Bears fans of Wisconsin are dope. They're cool people.
There you go.
But let's start focusing on the NFC. Okay? Start focusing on the NFC. All right, we can't, and I get it, baby steps. But the bottom line is we need to focus on being so good that the Packers aren't an issue. We need to focus on ourselves so much that the Lions aren't an issue. We need to focus on ourselves so much that the Minnesota Vikings aren't an issue. Okay, the issue is the NFC. That's the issue. All right, we need to stop thinking small. Okay, and let's start thinking big. And when you start having this thing, and it's not overconfidence, it's not arrogance, it's not I just want to say arrogance, overconfidence. There's another word I want to say, but I can't think of it. But it's not. It's neither of those things. What it is you have your sights set on a certain level, and anything and anyone who's not on that level, you need to destroy. You need to destroy, and that's that's the mindset. So it doesn't matter if it's, and we have to stop. If you focus on okay, it's a rivalry game, it's different. No, it's not a different game. Okay, every game we need to go out, destroy people. Period. End of story. It doesn't matter if it's the Packers. Doesn't matter if it's the Colts. Doesn't matter if it's the Bucks. Doesn't matter if it's the Steelers. Doesn't matter if it's the Seahawks. Doesn't matter if it's Little Sisters of the Poor. You're going to get this. The level of play, as Coach Tomlin always says, the standard is the standard. You need to make sure that you play the same way, play consistently, regardless. And that's where we're not getting at. We're not there yet. Okay? Scottish Bear, you can't say strength of schedule. All right, we don't know what teams are going to be. They can add 2 or 3 players, and it changes the whole complexity of a team. So let's get that mindset is where the Bears need to be. And hopefully Coach Washington is able to implement that. All right, do not lower your standards to the standards of your opponent. Do not lower your level of play to the standard of the level of your opponent, because that's where you're going to get in trouble. And if they do maintain their standard, their level of play throughout the year, they're going to be very successful. They're going to be pretty close to dominant. I just need that other defensive end if we'd be dominant. They'll be pretty close though.
All right.
So I'm not worried about Green Bay.
Yeah, let's get up out of here, man. Pretty good show, man. Let's get some final thoughts and pleasantries before we walk up out of here, bro.
Man, no maniacs. Thanks for rocking out with us once again. Our guys Plank, G Mace, King Booker World. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate the support from all of you guys. A couple of heads out there that showed up today. Scottish Bear, Jose Sanchez from Puerto Rico. Oh, y'all slipping. We got to work on this on the weekend or something. Notorious TBG, I see you getting down in the chat. Leo Factor, thanks for rocking with us. Cornelius Squalls, you're late, dog. You're late. I'm just messing with you. Florida Bears fan, big ups to you. Big ups to Florida, my home, away from my home, away from my home. Sean Cox, first time seeing you in the chat. Thanks for repping with us. Mark Kazak, you know what it is. Thanks again. Illinois Jones, so many folks out there. Like your support and all that is always appreciated. Thanks for rocking with us. Bishop, Shawn, Nomad, been fun. What do you got to say, Bish?
To everybody that hung in there with us, to everybody that hung in with us this afternoon, I appreciate it. To earlier, what I was going to say regarding what Shawn was saying, the chicken littles. If we're going to do the chicken littles, can we at least add some salt, pepper, and some mild sauce, please? But anyway, thanks a lot, you guys, for hanging in with us today. I do appreciate it. We appreciate it as always. Please make sure before you guys leave, hit that like button for us, please. That means a lot. But more importantly, to my guys on the panel. Oh, I did forget one person. Earlier, my man V-Dub out there on that truck, man. Thank you for tuning in, brother. But to my guys here on the panel, hey, man, as always, it's great when we get a chance to chop it up, talk Bears football, get some good little chuckles in along the way as well, you know. Hey, man, that's right. That's right. Barbecue and fit. My man, yes, mild sauce. Yes, sir. But anyway, I'm out of here, fellas. Y'all have a great rest of your day, everybody. Shawn, take it away, brother.
Sports owners and No Maniacs Unite. Thank you for the support. Great stuff. Again, let's not be so negative. And I know it's easier for us to be negative, but it's just as easy to be, all right, to be positive. All right, make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago, my YouTube channel, as well as the Nomad Network. All right, let's get these subscriptions up. All right, let's get these subscriptions up for both of us. We're trying to. It's easier for us to move when we get some subscriptions and some likes, which is why we're telling you to give us the like, smash the like button. All right, we really appreciate that. But until then, until mañana. All right, guys, you have a rest of the day. If you're in the Chicagoland area, it's about 40, low 40s today. Enjoy it. A nice little sweater or hoodie day. Okay, tomorrow's opening day for my White Sox. I'll be there.
T-shirt day for me.
And but other than that, guys, have a phenomenal day. All right, we'll wait and see what else, any other Bears news comes out. You know, whether it's the stadium or whether they sign someone or whether, you know, they're not going to someone's pro day. There'll be some more stuff. We'll be ready to talk about it tomorrow. No, man.
Like who was that just said that? Florida Bears fan. Let's get us to $2,000. Yes, sir. Let's get us to 2,000 on both channels. If you would have left that up there, Brian, that would have been cool. Get us to 2,000. Get us to 2,000 and get Shawn's channel up. Excuse me. Over on Sports Zone Chicago. And thank you guys again for all the support. It's a fun show as always. We love doing this. But more importantly, man, we need the support. And anybody that can give contributions is very welcome, because we are actually going to be doing things with that money that's going to benefit the network and people that are involved in it. And so all contributions count for something. I just wanted you guys to know that, man. But again, appreciate all the support. Get those likes up, because I heard they weren't anywhere near the amount of people in the chat. So do us that favor before you get out of here. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because we do have plans to put out some different content genre. And so it might not be for you, it might be for you, but you won't know it's happening unless you hit that notification bell. So real soon, we're going to put out some different content genre. And shout out to Tim Bears, somebody I had a conversation with last night. Good brother, man. I can't wait to start doing some stuff with him. And so before we get out of here, I got to always leave you guys with these famous words: love, peace, and hair grease, y'all. Oops. And I don't even have. Hold on one second. Let's take this off.